we went out, hired VAs. I didn't have the systems in place. Tony's never worked with VAs before. We ran them for 6 months. I don't think we got any leads out of them. It was a complete just setting money on fire. And it took us way too long to cut that system out because we didn't have it set up. Everybody wants to scale because they think it's going to make their life easier, right? They'll start out, and usually the progression is they're going to start out, they'll break their teeth in wholesaling, and then maybe they'll hire out some VAs because it's relatively cheap or inexpensive labor, and then they expect the VAs to make their life easier. Like, the whole point of scaling is to actually generate more work for you, so your life is going to get busier and harder, right, with those things. So never scale until you're ready, right? Always build out your foundation. Otherwise, you're just going to be scaling chaos. And otherwise, that's a nightmare. Never do that.
Got it. Very well said. That's good wisdom. Make sure you're building the right foundation. I guess it's like an engineer, right? Don't build your house on the sand. We're in the middle of a hurricane actually today. We're not getting hit very hard. It kind of missed us here in Northeast Florida. But the point is, don't build on the sand, build on the rocks, so that when you do scale, you can do more work, maybe more efficient work, help more people make a bigger impact. But if you're not building it right, then you're just scaling to chaos. Is that a fair summary, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, Tony and I, for an example, right? We went out, hired VAs. I didn't have the systems in place. Tony's never worked with VAs before. We ran them for 6 months. I don't think we got any leads out of them. It was a complete just setting money on fire. And it took us way too long to cut that system out because we didn't have it set up. But that was us. We were trying to scale chaos at the time. So always try to avoid that.
By the way, how did you adapt? That's a good kind of case study, right? So you figure out how you did it wrong. You said, okay, this isn't working. And then how did you rebuild that from the ground up to actually make it work?
So that, like I said, you have to cut it off in a sense, right? If something from days, I used to say minor changes have big effects. So you're not going to do something as drastic as cut off an entire marketing stream, but adjust and try never have only one source of marketing, right? It's not like we were only doing cold callers. Cold calling was an additional, all right, let's try this, let's try XYZ, and we added that. We usually run a marketing campaign for at least 3 to 6 months before we do any major tweaks, because it's going to have to run just to get through the cycles. But yeah, I would say never expect to go into something and it be the end all save all. Always expect to have to make changes and tweaks and
awesome.
see how things play out.